The Starship Phoenix hung in high Earth orbit, its experimental quantum drive core pulsing with a soft blue glow that seemed to bend the very fabric of space around it. Captain Elena Santos stood at the bridge's main viewport, her dark eyes fixed on the approaching Meridian diplomatic vessel. Its crystalline structure dwarfed the Phoenix, making Earth's pride and joy look like a mere shuttle in comparison. "They're hailing us again, Captain," Lieutenant Park reported from his communications station. "The Meridian ambassador is expressing concerns about our escort role." Santos suppressed a smile. "Put it through, Lieutenant." The holographic form of Ambassador Vex materialized on the bridge, its crystalline body refracting light in complex patterns that humans had learned indicated extreme agitation. "Captain Santos, surely you jest. You cannot expect the Meridian Alliance to accept a single vessel as escort through the Orion Arm, particularly one utilizing such primitive technology." "With respect, Ambassador," Santos replied, keeping her voice steady. "The Phoenix may be just one ship, but it represents humanity's greatest technological achievement. The quantum manipulation drive." Yes, Vex interrupted, its form flickering with what Santos had come to recognize as dismissive amusement. "Your species' attempts at quantum engineering are quaint, but the Orion Arm is fraught with dangers your kind cannot begin to comprehend. The Meridian Alliance maintains a fleet of 1,000 ships for such journeys." Santos exchanged glances with her science officer, Dr. Maya Patel, who had spent the last 5 years helping develop the very technology the Meridians dismissed. Maya gave an almost imperceptible nod. They had expected this reaction. "Ambassador," Santos said, "perhaps a demonstration would help allay your concerns." Before Vex could respond, proximity alerts blared across both ships. A massive energy signature had just appeared at the edge of the solar system, a quantum surge that shouldn't have been possible according to known physics. "Multiple contacts," Park announced, his fingers dancing across his console. "Reading at least 30 vessels. Configuration unknown. They're moving faster than anything we've ever encountered." The Meridian vessel's crystalline structure pulsed with alarm patterns. "Impossible," Vex declared. "Nothing could have breached our detection network without warning." Santos was already moving to action. "Dr. Patel, bring the quantum core to full power. Lieutenant Park, coordinate with the Meridian vessel for defensive formations. Ambassador Vex, I suggest you observe carefully. You're about to see exactly why the Phoenix is the only escort you'll need." The unknown vessels accelerated toward them, their sleek, predatory forms becoming visible on the main display. They moved with an organic grace that seemed to defy conventional spaceflight, and their energy signatures were unlike anything in either human or Meridian databases. "They're charging weapons," Park reported. "Energy readings are off the charts." Santos felt a familiar calm settle over her, the same feeling she'd had during countless simulations and tests. "Dr. Patel, initiate quantum field projection. Wide dispersal pattern." The Phoenix's quantum drive core flared brilliantly, and reality itself seemed to shiver around the ship. The approaching vessels suddenly found themselves in a region of space where the fundamental forces they relied on for propulsion and weapons became unpredictable. Their formation broke apart as their engines sputtered and failed. Weapon discharges meant for the Phoenix and the Meridian vessel curved impossibly through space, some even looping back on their sources. Within minutes, the attackers were in complete disarray. Ambassador Vex's crystalline form had gone completely still, a sign of shock in their species. That should not be possible. You're manipulating fundamental forces on a macro scale." "That's exactly what we're doing," Santos confirmed, allowing herself a small smile. "The Phoenix doesn't need conventional weapons or defenses. We simply adjust the rules of physics in our vicinity. Something that your own scientists claimed was impossible, if I recall correctly." The unknown vessels were already retreating, their sophisticated technology rendered useless by the Phoenix's quantum field. As they vanished back into deep space, Santos turned to face the ambassador's hologram directly. Still concerned about our escort capabilities, Ambassador. Vex's crystalline structure shifted through several complex patterns before settling into what humans had learned was their equivalent of deep contemplation. Perhaps we have been somewhat hasty in our assessment of human capabilities, Captain Santos. Though I must ask, why build only one such vessel? Surely with this technology. Because we didn't need a fleet, Santos replied. We needed one perfect solution. That's something else you'll learn about humans, Ambassador. We don't always follow the expected path. Sometimes the best answer isn't the biggest or the most powerful, but the one that changes the rules entirely. As the Meridian vessel's crew began transmitting urgent messages back to their homeworld about what they'd witnessed, Santos returned to the viewport. The Phoenix's quantum core continued its gentle pulse, a testament to human ingenuity and the power of approaching problems from new angles. The Galaxy might have laughed at humanity's single ship, but no one would be laughing anymore. The Meridian High Council chamber stretched toward a crystalline ceiling that seemed to capture and amplify the light of distant stars. Captain Santos stood before the assembled council members, their fragmentary bodies creating a constellation of refracted light that would have been beautiful if not for the tension filling the room. The vessels that attacked us have struck 3 more times, she reported, activating a holographic display showing attack patterns across the sector. Each target was a major shipping route or colony. No demands, no communication. They strike without warning and vanish just as quickly. The Council's prime speaker, a being of pure light and crystal named Lyrics, leaned forward. And you believe these attacks are connected to the incident in your solar system? The energy signatures match perfectly, Dr. Patel answered, stepping forward with her own data. But we've noticed something else. Each attack has been more coordinated than the last. They're learning, adapting to our defenses. Murmurs rippled through the council chamber, crystal forms shifting in patterns of concern. Ambassador Vex, now a strong advocate for human cooperation after witnessing the Phoenix in action, raised a crystalline appendage. The Phoenix's quantum field was effective against their initial attack. Surely we can replicate this technology across our fleet. Santos and Paddle exchanged glances. It's not that simple, Paddle explained. The quantum manipulation system requires incredibly precise calibration. It took us 5 years just to get one ship working properly. But more importantly, we've detected changes in the enemy's quantum signatures. They're already trying to adapt to our defense. The chamber erupted in alarmed chatter, but Santos raised her voice above the din. However, we have a proposal. The Phoenix was designed to be adaptable. Dr. Patel believes we can modify our quantum field to counter their adjustments, but we need data. Detailed scans of their ships during an attack. You wish to use one of our colonies as bait. Lyrix's tone carried both offense and intrigue. No, Santos replied firmly. We use the Phoenix. Your intelligence suggests they'll strike the Vega trading route next. We'll be there, but we'll need your ships to hang back. Way back. The quantum field affects everything in its range, friendly or not. The council chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. A single human ship, deliberately placing itself in the path of an enemy that had already devastated multiple targets. The Meridians had built their civilization on the principle that overwhelming force was the answer to any threat. The idea of using a single vessel as both bait and trap seemed to challenge everything they believed. The Vega route hosts thousands of civilian vessels. One council member objected. If your plan fails, then you'll be close enough to evacuate them. Santos interrupted. But not so close that our quantum field disrupts your ships. This is our best chance to understand what we're really dealing with. 3 days later, the Phoenix drifted alone in the vast darkness of the Vega route. The ship's quantum core thrummed at its lowest setting, just enough to maintain a minimal field while their sensors watched for any sign of the enemy. Multiple quantum signatures detected, Park announced from his station, similar to previous encounters, but different. The pattern is more complex. Santos nodded grimly. They have been learning. Maya, are you ready? Dr. Patel's fingers danced across her console, making minute adjustments to the quantum field projectors. As ready as we'll ever be. But Captain, if they truly adapted to our previous configuration, then we adapt faster, Santos finished. That's what humans do best. The enemy ships emerged from quantum space like a school of predatory fish, their hulls rippling with energy patterns that seemed almost alive. But this time, instead of charging weapons immediately, they held position, studying the Phoenix. They're scanning us, Park reported. Massive energy spike. They're trying to probe the quantum field. Now, Maya, Santos ordered. The Phoenix's quantum core surged to full power, but this time the field it generated was different. Instead of simply disrupting the fundamental forces around them, it created a complex pattern of quantum fluctuations, a dance of reality itself that responded to and mirrored the enemy's own energy patterns. The effect was immediate and stunning. The enemy ship's energy patterns began to resonate with the Phoenix's field, creating a cascade of quantum feedback. Their organic-looking hulls writhed as if in pain. Getting clear readings now, Patel announced, her voice tight with concentration. They're hulls. They're not ships at all. They're some kind of quantum organic construct. Living technology. Before they could process this revelation, the enemy vessels did something unexpected. Instead of retreating, they began to merge, their forms flowing together into a single, massive entity. Energy readings off the scale, Park warned. Whatever they're doing, it's building towards something big. Santos gripped the arms of her command chair. They had come for answers, and now they were about to get them, assuming they survived long enough to understand what they were seeing. The merged entity pulsed with power, and for the first time since the attacks began, a signal came through their communication system. It wasn't language as they understood it, but rather a series of quantum fluctuations that seemed to carry meaning. Maya, Santos called out. Are you getting this? Yes, Patel replied, her eyes wide as she studied the readings. Captain, I don't think these are attacks. I think they're trying to communicate. We just couldn't understand their language. It exists on a quantum level. As the Phoenix hung in space, facing a being that defied conventional understanding, Santos realized that humanity's greatest challenge wouldn't be fighting this entity. It would be learning to talk to it. And somehow, humanity's single ship had just become the galaxy's first quantum translator. The Phoenix's bridge had been transformed into an impromptu research lab. Holographic displays filled the air with cascading quantum patterns, while Dr. Patel and her team worked tirelessly to decipher the alien entity's communications. Captain Santos watched as another attempt at quantum-level dialogue produced a burst of incomprehensible energy patterns. The fundamental problem, Patel explained, rubbing her tired eyes, is that they don't think in terms of language as we understand it. Each quantum fluctuation is like a complete thought, a whole concept expressed through changes in the fabric of reality itself. The massive quantum organic entity remained nearby, its presence causing subtle distortions in space-time that the Phoenix's sensors could barely process. The Meridian fleet maintained their distance, their crystalline ships glinting in the starlight as they watched this unprecedented first contact scenario unfold. What about the quantum field itself? Santos suggested, studying the latest pattern. Instead of trying to translate their language into ours, could we use the field to think the way they do? Patel's eyes lit up. You mean reconfigure the quantum manipulation system to not just generate fields, but to actually participate in their form of communication? She was already typing rapidly at her console. It's risky. We have to partially merge our quantum field with theirs. Do it, Santos ordered, but keep the defensive protocols active. First contact is delicate enough without letting our guard down completely. The next 12 hours were a blur of activity as the science team reprogrammed the Phoenix's quantum core. The ship's unique technology, once mocked by the Meridians as primitive, was about to attempt something unprecedented, a true merger of consciousness and quantum mechanics. Ready for attempt 1, Patel announced, initiating quantum field synchronization. The Phoenix's core pulsed with new purpose, its quantum field reaching out to touch the alien entity's own quantum patterns. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the ship's holographic displays exploded with information. Images, concepts, and emotions flooded through the quantum link. The alien entity wasn't just trying to communicate, it was sharing its entire history. They were the Quantum Collective, a civilization that had evolved beyond physical form into beings of pure quantum energy. Their attacks had been clumsy attempts to reach out to other intelligent life, not realizing that their quantum interactions were disrupting conventional technology. They're not just showing us their past, Patel breathed, watching the data stream. They're showing us possible futures. Look at these quantum probability patterns. The images shifted to show devastating scenarios. Entire galaxies consumed by entropy, reality itself unraveling at the seams. The Quantum Collective had detected a fundamental flaw in the universe's quantum structure, a cosmic cancer that would eventually destroy everything. They'd been searching for help, Santos realized. They can see the problem, but they can't solve it alone. Their own nature as quantum beings makes them too entangled with the issue. Lieutenant Park spoke up from his station. Captain, the Meridian Fleet is hailing us. They're concerned about the level of quantum activity they're detecting. Santos opened the channel to find Ambassador Vex's crystalline form flickering with anxiety. Captain Santos, our sensors indicate dangerous levels of quantum field interaction. You must disengage immediately. Ambassador, Santos replied calmly, we're on the verge of understanding something incredible. The Phoenix isn't in danger. We're doing exactly what it was designed to do. We're changing the rules of the game. Through the quantum link, the collective was already sharing more information. They had detected something unique in the Phoenix's quantum field technology, a primitive but crucial innovation. Unlike their own quantum nature, the human design system could interact with quantum forces while remaining fundamentally separate from them. That's it, Patil exclaimed. We don't need to fight entropy on a quantum level. We need to create a bridge between quantum and conventional space, a way to repair the quantum structure of space-time from the outside. The collective's response was immediate and enthusiastic, sending patterns of quantum energy that the Phoenix's computers translated as mathematical formulas and engineering concepts. Together, they could develop a solution that neither civilization could create alone. Ambassador Vex and the Meridian Fleet watched in astonishment as the Phoenix and the Quantum Collective began a dance of energy and information exchange that defied conventional physics. The ship that they had dismissed as primitive was now at the center of an effort to save the universe itself. You know, Santos said to Patel as they worked to integrate the collective's quantum mathematics with human engineering principles, I'm starting to think this is why we only built one ship. We didn't need a fleet of quantum-capable vessels. We needed one ship that could think differently enough to bridge the gap between different ways of existing. The Phoenix's quantum core pulsed with renewed purpose, its field harmonizing with the collective's energy patterns in ways that would have been impossible just days ago. As human innovation merged with quantum consciousness, the ship that had been laughed at was about to become the key to the galaxy's survival. The combined fleet of Meridian ships created a glittering barrier around the test site, their crystalline forms reflecting starlight like a constellation brought to life. At the center, the Phoenix hung in space alongside the shimmering mass of the Quantum Collective, both entities preparing for humanity's most ambitious experiment yet. Final systems check complete, Dr. Patil announced, her fingers dancing across holographic controls that now display both conventional readings and quantum state patterns. The core modifications are holding stable. Captain Santos nodded, trying to ignore the weight of countless eyes watching from the Meridian ships. Begin quantum bridge initialization sequence. The Phoenix's modified quantum core hummed to life, but this time it wasn't creating a defensive field. Instead, it generated a precisely calibrated series of quantum fluctuations that reached out to touch the fabric of space-time itself. Through their quantum link, the collective added their own patterns, weaving them together with the Phoenix's emissions in ways that defied conventional physics. Bridge formation at 20%, Park reported. Quantum stability holding. Wait, detecting anomalies in the local spacetime metric. Warning signals flashed across multiple displays as reality itself seemed to shudder around them. The Phoenix's hull groaned under forces it was never designed to withstand. The quantum breach is forming faster than predicted, Patel called out, her voice tight with concentration. The collective says we need to adjust our field harmonics or the bridge will collapse. Santos gripped her command chair as the ship shuddered. Can we abort? No, Patel replied grimly. We're past the critical point. If we stop now, the quantum backlash could tear apart half the sector. Through the quantum link, the collective radiated patterns of both concern and determination. They had faced this moment in countless probability simulations, the point where theory met reality, where the abstract mathematics of quantum mechanics collided with the physical limitations of conventional space. Rerouting power from all non-essential systems, Santos ordered. Maya, prepared to implement Protocol Omega. Protocol Omega was their last resort option, a theoretical configuration of the quantum core that would push it far beyond its designed limits. They had never tested it because the simulation suggested it would destroy the Phoenix in the process. Captain, Ambassador Vex's voice crackled through their comm system. Our sensors indicate your ship is approaching catastrophic failure. You must withdraw. Santos ignored the warning. Maya, on my mark. Wait, Park interrupted. The collective, they're changing their quantum pattern. I think they're trying to shield us. The massive quantum entity had begun to wrap itself around the Phoenix, its energy patterns shifting to create a buffer between the ship and the forces threatening to tear it apart. But even as it protected them, the quantum readings showed the collective's own pattern beginning to destabilize. They can't maintain that configuration for long, Patel warned. The quantum stresses are too severe. Santos made her decision. Park, open a channel to the Meridian fleet. Maya, prepare to transmit our core specifications to every ship out there. If we're going down, we're taking everyone with us. Captain. Patel looked up in surprise. The Meridians thought our quantum technology was primitive, Santos explained, a fierce grin crossing her face. Let's show them what primitive can do. If every ship generates a quantum field right now, even a basic one. Understanding dawned in Patel's eyes. Multiple fields, all slightly out of phase, we could create a cascade effect. The combined fields would stabilize the bridge without overtaxing any single generator. The Meridian ships received the transmission, and for a moment, nothing happened. Then, one by one, their crystalline vessels began to pulse with quantum energy. None of their fields were as sophisticated as the Phoenix's, but together, quantum bridge stabilizing. Park reported, wonder in his voice. The collective is reintegrating their pattern. They're laughing. At least I think that's what these quantum fluctuations mean. On the main viewer, space itself seemed to fold and unfold, revealing glimpses of something beyond normal reality. The quantum bridge was no longer just a theory. It was a door opening to new possibilities, a way to repair the fundamental structure of the universe. Bridge formation complete, Patel announced triumphantly. We're receiving data. My God. The collective was right. We can see the quantum decay at the universal level, and we can fix it. The combined fields are already beginning to repair the local space-time fabric. Santos allowed herself to relax slightly in her chair. Send the data to the Meridian fleet. They thought we were primitive because we only built one quantum-capable ship. Let's show them that sometimes it only takes one good idea to change everything. The Phoenix hung at the heart of the quantum bridge, its revolutionary technology, now the cornerstone of an effort that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of reality itself. The ship that had been mocked as humanity's lone defender had become something far more. A bridge between different forms of existence, a key to the universe's survival, and a testament to humanity's greatest strength, the ability to find solutions where others saw only problems. 1 year after the successful creation of the quantum bridge, the Phoenix docked at Meridian Prime's newly constructed quantum interface station. The massive structure, a blend of crystalline meridian architecture and human quantum engineering, served as the headquarters for the unprecedented cooperative effort to heal the universe's quantum structure. Captain Santos walked through the station's main concourse, where beings of all species gathered to witness the latest quantum bridge activation. Meridian crystals pulsed with light alongside holographic displays, showing the progress of the universal repair efforts. The quantum collective's energy patterns danced through specially designed quantum channels, allowing them to interact with physical beings in ways that had once seemed impossible. The latest data is extraordinary, Dr. Paddle reported as she fell into step beside Santos. The quantum decay has been reversed in over 30% of the mapped galaxy. The collective's predictions suggest we'll reach 50% by the end of the year. And to think they once called us primitive, Santos mused, watching a group of young Meridian scientists studying a replica of the Phoenix's quantum core. The design that had once been dismissed as simplistic was now the template for a new generation of ships and stations throughout known space. They entered the station's central chamber, where Ambassador Vex awaited them. The Meridian's crystalline form now incorporated subtle quantum patterns, a sign of their species' growing understanding of the technology they had once ridiculed. Captain Santos, Vex greeted them, their form shifting in what humans now recognized as profound respect. The Council has finished reviewing your proposal for the next phase of the project. And Santos tried to keep the anticipation from her voice. It has been approved unanimously, Vex announced. Construction of the first dedicated quantum academy will begin immediately. The facility will serve as a training ground for crews of all species, teaching them to operate ships incorporating both Meridian crystalline technology and human quantum engineering. The chamber's quantum displays shifted to show the planned academy, a massive structure that would orbit Earth itself, a symbol of humanity's central role in the galaxy's transformation. But more importantly, it would be a place where different species could learn from each other's strengths and perspectives. There's more, Vex continued. The collective has shared something unprecedented through the quantum link. Maya, if you would. Patil activated her quantum interface, and the chamber filled with complex energy patterns that resolved into a series of mathematical equations and engineering schematics. They're calling it the Unity Drive, she explained, her eyes shining with excitement. It's a completely new form of propulsion that combines quantum manipulation with conventional physics in ways we never imagined. With this, we could reach other galaxies, explore parts of the universe we thought were forever beyond our reach. And they're giving this to us? Santos asked, studying the intricate designs. Just like that. Not giving. A new voice resonated through the quantum field. The collective had joined their conversation, their thoughts translated into words through the station's advanced interfaces. Sharing. As you shared with us, your species showed us that true strength lies not in technological advancement alone, but in the ability to see problems from new angles, to find elegant solutions where others see only brute force answers. The collective's energy patterns shifted, creating a display of the galaxy as seen through quantum space. Countless points of light showed where quantum bridges now operated, each one helping to heal the universe's fundamental structure. But more than that, each bridge represented a connection between different species, different ways of thinking and existing. When we first encountered your ship, the collective continued, we thought we had found simply another physical species playing with forces beyond their comprehension. Instead, we found partners who understood something we had forgotten. That the greatest discoveries come not from perfect knowledge, but from the willingness to question, to experiment, to fail, and try again. Santos watched as a new group of ships departed the station, each one carrying the quantum technology that had begun with the Phoenix. Some were Meridian vessels, their crystalline structures now incorporating quantum field generators. Others were ships from dozens of other species, each adding their own unique insights and innovations to the growing field of quantum engineering. The Phoenix was never meant to be part of a fleet, she realized aloud. It was meant to be a prototype, not just of technology, but of an idea. That sometimes the best solution isn't the biggest or the most advanced, but the one that brings people together. As if in response to her words, the station's quantum field rippled with patterns of agreement from the collective. Above them, another quantum bridge sparkled into existence, its magnificent display a testament to what was possible when different species and different ways of thinking came together. The ship that had been laughed at had done more than save the universe. It had changed how an entire galaxy thought about progress, innovation, and the true meaning of advancement. As humanity stepped forward into this new era, they carried with them the lesson that had made it all possible, that the most powerful force in the universe wasn't technology or knowledge, but the simple willingness to think differently and work together. The Phoenix hung in its dock, its quantum core pulsing softly. It was no longer humanity's lone defender, but it would always be remembered as the ship that had shown the galaxy a new way forward, one quantum leap at a time.